Hey, listen, when you get done with that laundry, will you come hit mine up?
It's the worst part of doing laundry. I hate folding laundry.
I don't fold. I fold it, but then I stack it.
It just makes me, oh, I hate it.
Come on, Myra,
But,
unmute that.
you know, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to do it. So
Exactly. Come on, Myra, turn that video on. Let's see those kids. Bet Victor and Nita get on there. Hey, Mike and Tara.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey, V20. I think we should all have like code names, V20. That's a good one. Now, Carter, you gonna get in the house? Hi, Megan Allen. Come on, Myra, turn your video on. Just because you look like you might have combed your hair with an egg beater doesn't mean anything.
That's right. We're all family.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
That's why Tara's hiding. She combed her hair with an egg beater. I always have mine combed with an egg beater.
Ooh, I'm digging the cup right there.
it's an
You
awesome.
like that?
I like that.
One of my customers gave it to me. Did you see it, Alyssa?
Really?
Uh-huh. She made
Yeah,
it
that's
for me.
awesome.
It's her side hustle.
Side hustle. There you go.
Uh-huh. Man, is anybody else drinking lots of Liftoff today?
This guy.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm not supposed to be doing a lot of caffeine, but I sucked one down today.
Did you?
I did. It was
I had my
good.
first one in a long time because I've been nursing, so I haven't been doing it 'cause she's caffeine sensitive, and I weaned, and I'm like,
Like,
that's why the laundry's getting folded.
there you go. I don't know where the clock is now that this is on. Interesting.
Hey, Meg.
Hey. Oh, there's Alan Carter.
Oh,
AC in the house.
oh my goodness gracious.
Are we echoing?
No, you sound good.
I'm going to shut this door because I'm hearing some. Yeah, he heard the same thing. All right, everybody jumping on in the house. Whoop, whoop. Does everybody know where the chat is? Because we're going to light you up. We want lots of feedback. Nita, I need you to jump on. Speak, ask me lots of questions. I'm going to share some of those podcasts that I gave to you.
Hey.
Look at this. Oh, man, 2 pages full. Whoop, whoop. Load them up. Oh, I can't find the clock again. Got another minute. The heat is on. Hey, looks like it's time. Alan Carter?
Hey,
like to start?
looks like it's 8:30 to me.
Coming to you live from 110 Borders Road, Shelby, North Carolina. Hit it, Alan Carter.
You gonna start us off or what?
It looks like you are.
I think it's about 8:30. You guys ready to do this? Let's get you started, okay? We got a really cool call tonight, and it's on a topic that is a lot more in depth than what we're going to cover. We're just going to kind of hit the hot spots of some stuff here.
I'd say we're going to get you interested.
Yeah, we want you to get interested. We're going to give you a little reference and to how we came across some of this information so that you can use it yourself and go from there. So we'll get started. I'll tell you a little bit, a little brief story about Meg and myself. We got into this business in 2011. I was in real estate as a real estate broker. Meg was a massage therapist and a yoga instructor. And one day she came home to me and asked me if I could build her a bar with a sink in it. And not understanding what she was talking about, I asked her why. And she said she was going to open a nutrition club across the hall from her massage room. It just came available, and she's going to open this nutrition club. I said, well, what are you talking about? I didn't even know anything about Herbalife at the time. And she went on to explain to me what Herbalife was and how it had helped her feel a lot better with some digestive issues that she was having. And she wanted to share that with everybody. So lo and behold, I said, after she decided to purchase some product, I said, don't you think we should have talked about this? Because back in 2011, you could purchase up to 4,000 volume points at one time, start a club, and get into the business. And she said, well, I'm not asking you permission. And I said, well, there you go. That's my wife. That's Meg Ryan. So we got started in the business back then. We've grown since then. Been doing it since 2011, about 8 years now, 8.5 years. We have spawned off some great supervisors and distributors along the way who have also gone out and opened other clubs. So we have 7 total clubs in our team, on the Kirkpatrick team, the Davis team. We want to thank the mentors above us, Brad and Kelly Davis, of course, Mike and Tara, and Shauna and Anthony Stevenson, who are our direct upline, who got us started, and all of our supervisors and distributors who have gotten us to this level. We're now enjoying the Get 2.5 level, which is awesome, and we're shooting for Millionaire Team by the end of the year. Hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that goal. It's one of our goals, so we'll see how we go. But what we want to do tonight is get you started on thinking about something that you use your mind to do. We're going to talk a little bit about a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And what I want to start off with is I'm going to actually define the two for you, starting off. So I hope you have a pen and paper so that you can take some notes. And by the way, something about getting in this business, Meg and I are a little bit older than most. I started when I was 55, and I believe Meg was a little in her late 40s at the time. So don't think that you can't invite people who have some age on them into the business, because we're all looking for an opportunity. And that's all you're going to be doing, is offering them an opportunity. But let's get into this, growth and fixed mindset. Fixed mindset believes that their talents and intelligence is fixed at birth. It's kind of like it's carved in stone. It's partially genetics or something. It creates an urgency to prove oneself over and over again, doing the same thing. So if you accomplish something when you were younger, you think that that might be something that'll carry over into the future, and you're fixed on the fact that maybe you played some sport and you were really good at it, and it should carry over into your older age. They dwell on drama, and they don't have any solutions, or they don't try to find solutions. That's a fixed mindset. Then we have a growth mindset. It's based on the belief that your basic qualities are things that you can cultivate through your efforts, your strategies, and from the help of other people. You look for solutions to your obstacles, and you also remove the negative energy from your life, the drama out of your life, as much as you possibly can. So we want you to think about those two particular mindset, fixed or growth, and see which one you might be the most dominant at. I will say this, you have a little bit of both of those in you. From our readings and all, we found out that 10% of the people in the world actually have what is called a growth mindset, more dominant than the fixed mindset. So don't feel bad. I felt bad because I felt like I had a fixed mindset, and I believe that Meg actually has the growth mindset. That's why we're here today. She had the vision. She had the thought process of that everything can happen and we can make it happen. So I give her all the kudos for that. So
why don't you guys drop in the chat what mindset you think you are? So as you go back, then you can go back and see. So jump in the chat and write down whether you're a fixed mindset or a growth mindset.
Right. The other part about this is please throw your questions in the chat. We'll get that written down so that we can answer those questions either on the call tonight or tomorrow. We'll have the answers for you on any of those questions. Right now, we want to go into, I'm going to put something up on the screen here. We're going to touch base on a few of these little, can you guys see that? Fixed and growth mindset?
Yes, you guys, if you haven't used an iPad to run this call before, we sure have a lot more success with the iPad than we did Alan's laptop, just an FYI.
Hey, anybody can do this stuff. You just got to get your mindset right in the growth area, right?
That's it.
Okay, listen, I'm going to run through these fixed mindsets here on this screen. Intelligence is static for fixed mindset people. It leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to, first of all, avoid challenges. You know, a lot of people avoid doing these Zoom calls or speaking in front of a crowd. They're a little scared. They don't want to meet that challenge because they feel like they might fail. And if they fail, then that fixed mindset makes them look stupid. They always want to look smart. So they avoid challenges like speaking or doing an HOM, getting up in front of people at an HOM and practicing doing what is necessary in order to learn all about Herbalife, as well as even doing a wellness eval. They're afraid to do a wellness eval because they're afraid they might mess up or say the wrong thing, but I really don't believe that's possible. They also give up easily because they have obstacles. You know, a lot of us talk about doing invites, but it's one of the easiest things to do, but it's one of the biggest obstacles most of us have, or I have had, because we get out and let's say we're trying to give out a few invites and people say no, or I don't care for one, or they give you a weird look, or you just feel a little fearful of it, you know. So you got all these invites, that's an obstacle that you're afraid of. You see effort as fruitless. You know, if you guys are doing social posts or you want to do social posting and you get online and you're afraid to post something because you think it'll look funny or it's not really something that might be congruent to Herbalife, you're afraid that it's just not going to be fruitful, not going to provide any feedback or any stuff. I just happened to have somebody that came in our club today in Lincolnton, and I always asked, how did they hear about us? And she said she saw it on a post on Facebook. So she saw a shake or something on there that she liked. She wanted to come in and try it. Then there's the ignore useful feedback. You got to let your coaches coach you through weight loss challenges and all, because, and or in the business itself, mentoring is a great thing and people need mentoring. It's not that they're trying to tell you something that they haven't already been through or been affected by. So fixed mindset people ignore useful feedback, and then they're threatened by other people's success. You know, we see everybody's successful on Facebook and we see them with all the smiles and the happiness and all. We all have our ups and downs, but fixed mindset people they just feel really bad or envious of the fact that people are successful and they're not. And it's based on the fact that they don't want to look like they've made a failure in life, or they're not willing to go out there and give it a shot. So those are some of the fixed mindset. Mary's going to tell you a little bit about the growth mindset.
Fixed mindset, growth mindset. Guess it's my turn. So here we are. We're going to talk about the growth mindset. Intelligence can be developed, leads to a desire to learn, and therefore a tendency to embrace challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Marie Forleo, but she's the one who coined the phrase, everything is figure outable. And I really enjoy that. I really listen to her podcasts a lot. So if you guys haven't heard of her, it's Marie Forleo. So everything is figure outable. If you embrace and challenge and think of it in that aspect, it makes it a lot more fun. You can take it on. Persist despite obstacles. This is a good one. A lot of times if someone does not succeed, we've had a lot of nutrition clubs open up and people don't want to learn, don't want to grow, so they set it to the side. So despite the obstacles, you have to persevere. You have to learn from them. I can get on a rampage, but I don't think people fail. I think they learn. If you look at it in that aspect, it's really going to change your mindset, and that helps with that growth mindset. If you learn something from a situation, you did not fail. You did not fail. You went out there and you stepped beyond your comfort zone and you kept moving. See effort as a path to mastery. Alan explained this one a little bit. I didn't get the same thing out of that as he does, but you have to do something consistently and keep learning from it to master it. So see effort as a path to mastery, even though you don't get it right the first time. If you keep persisting, you get better. Learn from criticism. This one we talked about this one together because it was like, you might take something as being critical and really they're meaning it as constructive. So think about those two forms of criticism. There's constructive and there's critical. It's how you choose to perceive it. So if you think someone's criticizing you, you might just want to change your mindset and think, oh, that's a nice suggestion. Put it in your notebook and ponder it. That doesn't mean you have to take action on it, but it was suggested to you for a reason. So think about the application of where the criticism came from, if it was heart-based or if it was just being flat out evil. But take that and no matter what, write it in. And a lot of times when I get criticism, you have to think about, is that person somebody that I aspire to be like or want to be like, or would I change places with them? So those are a lot of places where you can take that criticism from. Because if someone's criticizing you from a critical place trying to be hurtful, it doesn't have to be applied. You can just let it go. And this one is my favorite. Be inspired by others' success. Did you guys know that when we go to trainings like the STSs and the LDWs, that those leaders that come to those events are not paid to train? They get their rooms paid for and stuff, but they're taking critical time out of their lives to come train us. And I've been a speaker attendant for a long time. I've sat with several speakers. So when they get up on the stage, what they say is, I'm sharing from what people would conceive as failures. So when you're sitting there if you don't take notes, for one, you're being disrespectful of their time. They came here to share with you. So you need to get that notebook out and take some notes with what they're sharing. But a lot of times what they do is they'll take something that they were not great at the beginning, which people would consider a failure, and they're trying to share that with you. So you don't make the same mistake, so you move forward faster. So when they get up on the stage, we just had a great presentation by Jeffrey Bloom, and he was up there and he was like, let's do ethics. Well, if I told you ethics, sometimes it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Well, he made those big signs up and held them up and said the things that are imperative. Don't manipulate volume. Have ethics. Be the team player that you want to be. Don't steal people's customers. Those are the things that don't build a strong foundation for your business. So it's really important that you be inspired by those other successes, especially those who want to share with you. We've all learned several lessons in the course of our business growing. So let those things inspire you. It's not a competition. There's so many people that need to get healthy and happy, and we are all here to help everybody achieve that. So that's everything off of the Be Inspired for Success, off the Fixed and Growth Mindset flyer. Did anybody get anything out of that or have any questions about that they want to throw in the chat for us to get back with you on? Or need to describe more? Just so you guys know, we got this, a lot of this, well, actually, before Tara asked me to do this, I was listening to Jay Shetty and Lisa Bilyeu doing a growth mindset podcast. I usually listen to podcasts a lot because now that I have progressive lenses, it makes it a little more difficult to read. But they have a great podcast that Jay Shetty also interviewed Lisa Bilyeu on. So during that podcast, we found a book that was called Mindset by Kara Dweck. Yes, that's it. How do you spell her last name? D-W-E-C-K. Great book. If you guys haven't heard anything of it, it is so good. But the podcast, for me, it's easy to listen to in the morning while I'm getting ready, and it really will set you off and make you think really deep. Jay Bilyeu and Lisa Bilyeu are from Quest. They're the ones, the originators of Quest Nutrition. And he talks about what a goat he was and how fixed mindset he was and how much he has grown since he's taken on these challenges. So that was really good. So another great way for you to help get past that fixed mindset is when you have those challenges, use the word yet. I'm not good at that yet. So make sure you think about that. You can really utilize that to your benefit and help you in your growth. So say you go out and you pass out some invites and you aren't good at it yet. Oh, Alan has it wrote on his hand. They can't see it, Alan. I don't think you're up on the screen. You'll have to, because I'm talking, you'll have to talk for your screen to light up.
Oh,
I'll show your yet on your hand.
go ahead. You're good.
So that came from our talking yesterday about our fixed mindset and growth mindset. So make sure you use that word yet. If you go to think you're not good at something, you're not good at it yet because you haven't put in your disciplines and your practices to help you achieve that. Couple other things to touch on was, now that we have you picking a mindset, there's also the false growth mindset. That's people who love the concept of a growth mindset, but still put blame on everybody else or something else for the reason they aren't achieving what they want to achieve. So keep that in mind. You can be saying you have a growth mindset, but if you do have that growth mindset, you need to set that to the side. And this, my biggest challenge, when I'll share with you, is numbers. I've always transposed and I've never been tested, and I get frustrated and I quit with numbers, and I've tried several times with memorizations. If you give me a phone number, I can't memorize the number, but I can remember the sequence of how to dial it on the phone. And now that we just have Siri call for us, I'm really hosed on that one. I probably couldn't do a sequential number. Or if you call me on the phone and leave a phone number, I have to have someone else get it off the voice message. So that's something I'm not good at yet. Just like this Zoom call, we practiced a long time this evening before we got on here for you guys. So we're not good at it yet, but we're getting better.
Every time we get better, don't we?
That's it. That's it. So that was the growth mindset, the false mindset, the fixed mindset. And something else that came along with this was dreaming isn't enough. Everybody that comes into this business has a dream. They have a dream of moving up the marketing plan and getting better all the time, but dreaming isn't enough. You have to have the disciplines. So utilize the knowledge that's come before you, be open to it, have that growth mindset, and realize that when someone's talking to you, very few people in this business don't want you to succeed. The majority want you to be a successful person. So ask the questions, be open, don't get your feelings hurt, don't take it personal, write it down and find what works for you and let yourself grow into everything else. What do you think? Everybody have any questions in the chat there that we need to jump on in the moment? Spotify is full of amazing podcasts. Yes, that's where I use. Jay Shetty is my all-time favorite. He usually introduces me to people that I like to resonate with. He really operates from a heart center, and he has a new book out called The Monk, How to Think Like a Monk. So I'm really excited like that. Alan, would you like to share the wrap up for the evening with us?
Yeah, I just want to throw something else out there because I think you brought in the fact that of your working on your numbers and all. I just want other people to understand that fixed mindset had a lot to do with what's happened in your life as a child, as you grew up. You might have had success at different things. I had mentioned before something like playing a sport or something. And when I was younger, I did play sports, and I was rather, they said I was good at it. I felt like I was pretty good at different types of sports, not all of them, but one in particular. And then doing things in the military, you got achievements through that, and you felt like you were doing really well. So you think you can carry all of that along with you along the way, and you don't have to necessarily learn stuff. But I am definitely one of those people that have had a fixed mindset that believe that you definitely have to work on yourself over time and just have that growth mindset at least placed in your thought process so that you're not stuck, because life's too short to be stuck in a fixed mindset. So try to get a little growth in it. There was a quote in that book that I showed just a minute ago I want to share with you. I thought it was rather interesting. The major factor whether people achieve expertise is not some fixed ability, but purposeful engagement. In other words, taking action, doing something to get a little bit better each and every day. Mark Hughes said it, just 1% better each and every day, and you can become more successful than you are today. It's not always the people who start out the smartest who end up the smartest.
Oh, good one. That was a
That's-
good one. Say that one again.
It's not always the people who start out the smartest who end up the smartest.
Good job. Good job. I like that one. Thank you, Alan.
Awesome. So let's go into what's coming up. We got a couple of promotions going on. Let's take a look at that and see what you think of this, Meg.
Woo! This is the first quarter promotion. Let's hear where you guys are shooting for. Throw it up in the chat. Let's hear what level you're going for. Always go for platinum, go big or go home. If you shoot for the moon, you might land in the stars. So set your intention out there, share it with others, because, oh, I see Reagan's up there going for level 4 in the house. All right, here's our next promotion, Lakeside Lunch Team promo, open to all supervisors or anyone who qualifies super in the month of March. 2020 increase your March volume over February by 300 volume points. Get an invitation to attend, increase by 500 documented volume points, and you get a special branded t-shirt. Be there or be a nerd.
Now, is that a meeting that you're going to?
I think it's just a brunch and chit chat and small talk and growth mindset.
So pick up a few nuggets from everybody that attends the event, because
Exactly.
they've actually increased their volume by 300 to 800 or 500, I guess, a month. And then
It's always interesting. I always tell my team, don't talk to me at events, to go talk to other people. You can ask me questions all the time, but when you start making friendships with other team members, it really makes a difference, because you look forward to meeting with them. You'll compare notes since your last meeting. So a lot of times it'll make your STSs and stuff like family reunions with people you want to see.
yeah, and if you actually do speak with other people from other organizations or somewhere that's not close to where you live, like Greensboro, Raleigh, or something like that, and you get to go on the Herbalife vacations, you get to hang out with those friends too. It's pretty fun.
Go do your next one.
The next one's exciting. So let's get a drum roll, because next week.
Woo! Time to follow up with Get Team member Brandy Turner. That's our next Monday night call. She's going to bring it to you. So
That's
make
right.
sure you're on there.
Same time, 8:30. Zoom will be posted on Facebook Herbalifers page, so you can make sure you can get in touch with that. And you're good
Gosh,
to go.
Ella Carter. Yeah, we got 5 minutes left, but I
Hey.
think we put it all out. Oh, Kelly's got
Megan
something to
Allen, you
share.
guys have, there's some, I saw a great question in here. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going out of order. So
All
Kelly
right.
and Mike aren't going to kill me. But this is a great question from Jay and Portia.
Okay.
What was the biggest and most effective way to transition from your athletic mindset to the growth mindset you currently have? So I guess,
There you
Alan,
go.
you're the one that mentioned the athletic
Yes.
mindset.
Well, first of all, that's a really great question, because I think J-Rock and Portia probably can relate to the sports-minded person, because they look pretty athletic, and I'm sure they have participated in sports. I will say this about my sports mentality is that I was always respectful and grateful to all the players that I felt were really awesome players. I just finished playing in a softball league, media league in Charlotte over there, and there were some people, and we played a lot of great ball players there. And the respect I had for them when somebody would hit a home run or something, instead of just standing there moping or whatever, I'd slap them and high five them and all that. And it was amazing the respect that they returned to me. So it really started me thinking that it's all about uplifting others. And if you have a wife like Meg Ryan, who is focused on meditation and just becoming an incredibly, totally better person all the time, she corrects me when I'm in that fixed mindset. So if you're around the right types of people, you surround yourself with like-minded people that have a positive attitude and a respectful attitude for others, it will happen for you. It's not an everyday thing for me. I get all these fixed mindset things that I mentioned to you. They happen to me. I just tried not to focus on them and divert my focus to something different. So I think that's the only way you can do it. Everything can be like a sport if you were one of those that respected others. I competed for sure. I love to win. But I definitely respected others that felt that same way, because you know what it takes to be successful in sport or business. Same with real estate, same with Herbalife. We all know what it takes really now. Most of us at our level now, distributors may need to learn this as they go along, but we know what it takes to get to president's team. We know what you struggle with and deal with, the obstacles and all. It truly is about how you can change your thoughts to being more positive and reaching your goals. So I hope that answered your question. Is that good?
That was awesome.
I'll say that my growth and my mindset happened for me earlier in life. I lost my mom when I was 15, and I grew up in a one red light town in West Virginia. And I had the opportunity my senior year of high school for graduation. My brother bought me a ticket to go to Tucson, and that was the first time I flew. That was the first time I'd been into a big city besides Pittsburgh, and it opened my eyes up. I went for a week and I stayed a month, and I came home and I knew that I did not want to have that mindset of that one red light town and the people that grew up there after I had had the opportunity to be exposed to something more. And believe me, it wasn't easy, but I started out with Norman Vincent Peale, because I grew up with a family that drank. You didn't go to the mall unless you took a cooler. But I just knew that I wanted something different, and it was hard. It was not easy. And I had to move clear across the country to make it happen. I grew up in West Virginia, and I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't go home for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Because I knew I would fall back into the same routines. And I knew that I did not want that to be the rest of my life. So I went through all that, all the hard things in my early 20s. And that's what made me have that growth mindset, that I could figure it out. Because a lot of those times when I was out there, I was alone, and I wasn't going to put my tail between my legs and go home. So I had to figure things out. It was not given to me. So that's what makes you grow, because it's figure outable. Everything.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing about we have a contrasting when we were growing up, based on the fact that I grew up in a family that was middle class, didn't seem to be without, always encouraged to do whatever you wanted to and all. I guess I kind of felt like I was privileged, or I deserved it or whatever. And now, as I've grown older, you start realizing a lot of these things as you grow up and look back on things like that. And so that fixed mindset still lingers in the back of your mind. But I'm so humbled. I really am humbled by the fact that this business is an incredible thing, because you really do depend on other people quite a bit, matter of fact. And if you don't recognize that, then you're missing a big point. So.
And it goes back to the 4 agreements. You have to it's a relationship business. And for you to grow in this business, you have to have foundational things to be able to grow from. Otherwise, you're going to implode. So you have to have the ethics and the integrity and the willingness to listen, the willingness to be coachable, because you're all intermingled and you can't get to press team by yourself.
That's right.
Awesome.
So grow. Open up that growth mindset.
Everybody good?
Awesome.
Put your questions in there. We'll answer them tomorrow if we haven't already done that. And if there's anything else, we'll do that or not. It's 9 o'clock, so we don't want to go over too much here.
Because tomorrow's going to come fast. Love the time change. Well, thanks you guys so much. We really appreciate you plugging in this evening, and we'll make sure you jump on with Brandy on Monday for follow-up, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you
Take care.
guys. Awesome
Bye.
job.
Thank you guys.
Yes,
Good
thank
night.
you.
Toodaloo.
Awesome, Megan Ellen.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
Night, Cat.
Night, everybody.
Toodaloo.
See you later.
ABC, yeah.